I think there's so many powerful people that are on those lists. There's so many powerful people that went and partied. Air quotes, partied.
The episode didn't begin with jokes. It didn't begin with laughter, wild stories, or one of those relaxed conversations people usually expect from Joe Rogan. This time, the mood felt heavy almost immediately. Joe leaned closer to the microphone and started talking about something that has been hanging over Hollywood for years now, the Epstein files. But what shocked listeners the most wasn't just the topic itself. It was the fact that one of the biggest names in the entertainment world suddenly became part of the conversation again, Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's
like,
what I
over the
saw.
hell.
Remember the photos of Jeff Bezos and his girlfriend,
Would she
Leonardo
like
DiCaprio? Yeah, she was like smiling at him, and then Jeff Bezos like was joking around about pushing him off a cliff. Like,
Yeah.
they're like, you don't have to worry about her, bro. She's 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could see you could see her doing like the cost benefit analysis, like Leo or richest man in the world.
Joe made it clear right away that being connected to powerful people or appearing in old photos does not automatically make someone guilty of a crime. But he also said something that instantly grabbed attention. He argued that Hollywood has spent decades protecting its biggest stars from uncomfortable questions. And now, according to Joe, the public is no longer willing to ignore old connections, mysterious friendships, and elite social circles that once seemed untouchable. What nobody expected was how emotional and frustrated Joe sounded during the discussion.
So if people wind up going to trial over this and people wind up getting indicted over this, that could get more interesting, because then you remove it from Minnesota and then it becomes this federal court thing. And so then it becomes mainstream public news if they do this correctly.
But
if there is something there.
But the thing is, you have to worry about if the judge is going to be complicit and if the prosecutor is going to be complicit, like, and the media is also. You got to kind of fly that arrow through three hoops to hit that bullseye.
You got to go through the bushes and you got a small hole to
Right.
shoot through. Yeah.
And then to try to make it and then it'd be very easy for Newsom to be like, I'm so glad this got exposed.
Right.
I promise you, as president, this won't happen in America. And if you want to talk corruption, look at Trump and all his sweetheart deals, blah, 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 blah. Hillary's already throwing him under the bus about Epstein. They don't have shame. Did you not see that?
Saying?
Hillary's like, Trump's in the files thousands of times. Like, let's have this conversation. She started already.
Right.
His tone shifted from curiosity to anger as he talked about celebrity culture, hidden power, and the way famous people disappear whenever scandals explode online. And when Leonardo DiCaprio's name entered the conversation, the internet immediately exploded. Because this wasn't just about one actor anymore. This was about trust. For years, Leonardo DiCaprio was seen as one of the most respected actors in Hollywood. He built a career that almost nobody could criticize. Award-winning performances, environmental activism, huge movie roles, global fame. To millions of fans, Leonardo represented the image of the intelligent, serious Hollywood star who stayed away from chaos and drama. But Hollywood has changed, and so has the public.
A lot of it is...
But then it's just another Epstein.
It's
another
murder
Ghislaine
cases.
Maxwell, where
there's
somebody
murder
gets indicted
cases.
and nobody else. Indicted for trafficking kids to
Right,
no one.
to no one. Yeah, it could be many things. I mean, it certainly is a code, which indicates, at least to me, that they were doing something they didn't want people to know about.
People no longer look at celebrities the same way they did 20 years ago. Social media changed everything. Old photographs resurface in seconds. Archived interviews suddenly go viral again. Connections that once seemed harmless now get analyzed frame by millions of people online. Joe Rogan explained that the Epstein scandal completely destroyed the illusion that elite circles were always glamorous and harmless. There was a time when private islands, billionaire parties, luxury yachts, and celebrity gatherings were viewed as symbols of success. Nobody questioned who attended those events or why powerful people seemed connected behind closed doors. Now, people question everything. Every photo matters. Every friendship gets investigated. Every silence becomes suspicious. And according to Joe, that shift has created panic inside Hollywood.
This is the current website to get into the Epstein files.
You're now in line.
I'm in the queue.
Oh, wow.
What?
Your estimated wait time is 1 minute. Oh. Is it moving? Oh, less than a minute.
Wait, we're gonna get into the
Look,
Epstein files.
look, we're about to get in.
This is a lot. They just put them out like an hour ago.
96%. We're getting less than a minute. We're at 96% getting into the Epstein files.
What do you think should pop up first?
Oh, it's your turn.
Holy shit!
Oh, we're gonna see some shit. You are now being redirected to the website.
Nothing
Bro,
happened.
immediately a virus gets uploaded to your computer.
happened.
They get a FaceTime video of every kickoff session you're going to have for now to the rest of your life. Where's the videos? They were telling us the videos are going to come out, incredibly high profile people doing horrendous things. People are going to go to jail. Where?
Right.
Nothing. What did they do? The director of the FBI on this show. Nothing you're looking for is on those tapes. Like, what? Why'd they say there was thousands of hours of tapes of people doing horrible shit? Why'd they say that?
Leonardo DiCaprio's name began trending online again after discussions about Epstein's social circle resurfaced across social media. Old reports, party photos, and celebrity connections started circulating again. Some people defended Leonardo immediately, saying there was no evidence connecting him to criminal activity. Others demanded answers simply because his name appeared in conversations tied to Epstein's world. Joe said the biggest problem wasn't whether Leonardo committed a crime. He repeatedly stressed that assumptions without proof are dangerous, but he also argued that the public has become tired of celebrities acting like they're above scrutiny. That was the real tension during the conversation.
So we know Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem sent the torture video to Epstein. This is in 2009. So Epstein was saying that. Where are you? Are you okay? I love the torture video.
Jeez.
I am in China. I'll be in the U.S. second week of May. What the fuck, man? And why is his name redacted? Why would your name be redacted if you're not a victim? Like, this is what's crazy about all this. Like, how come you redact some people and you don't redact other people? Like, what is this? This is not good. None of this is good for this administration. It looks fucking terrible. It looks terrible. It looks terrible for Trump when he was saying that none of this was real. This is all a hoax. This is not a hoax. Like, did you not know? Maybe he didn't know, if you want to be charitable. But this is definitely not a hoax. And if you've got redacted people's names and these people aren't victims, you're not protecting the victim. So what are you doing?
Right.
And how come all this shit is not released?
The Epstein stuff is so crazy because when Kash Patel was on here and he was like, there's nothing. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I didn't even know what to say. My thought was, and people are like, why didn't you push back more? My thought was like, I'm just going to put this out there and let the internet do its work. The guy's saying there's no tapes, there's no video. That doesn't make any sense. And then he's like, well, we have a film. We're going to release that film. And the film has a fucking minute missing from it. It's so convenient that the guards were asleep. So convenient that the cameras didn't work. So convenient that years later, you have a recording of the outside of the cell, but a minute is missing from it.
3 minutes.
Yeah. 3 minutes?
Yeah, they found out it was like almost 3 minutes was missing.
That's plenty of time to kill somebody. 3 minutes is more than enough time.
Oh, 3 minutes, you could get a whole bunch of people killed by then. Yeah.
Joe sounded frustrated by what he sees as a massive double standard in media coverage. He explained that when ordinary people become linked to controversy, headlines are aggressive, direct, and nonstop. But when major celebrities are involved, especially powerful A-list stars, the language suddenly becomes softer and more careful. According to Joe, audiences notice that difference instantly, and once people feel like the media is hiding something, public trust disappears even faster. He leaned back for a moment and talked about how quickly public opinion can change now. One viral clip, one resurfaced image, one trending topic. That's all it takes for decades of carefully built reputation to suddenly come under pressure. And Leonardo, whether fair or unfair, found himself caught inside that storm. The conversation became even more intense when Joe started talking about Hollywood's obsession with image management. He said celebrities today live behind carefully controlled public relations strategies. Interviews are rehearsed, questions are filtered, statements are written by teams of professionals, public appearances are planned down to the smallest detail. For years, that system worked perfectly, but the internet changed the balance of power. Joe explained that audiences are no longer passive. Fans investigate things themselves now. They compare timelines, they search archives, they examine old interviews. Social media users connect dots faster than traditional media ever could. And once public curiosity begins spreading online, it becomes almost impossible to stop. That's where Leonardo's silence started attracting attention. Joe pointed out that when controversy trends online and a celebrity suddenly becomes quieter, people naturally start asking questions. Again, Joe clarified that silence is not proof of guilt, but he argued that in today's world, silence often creates even more speculation.
Just don't understand how anybody can go to jail for sex trafficking when you don't have anybody they sex traffic to.
Right.
Like, that don't make any sense. Like, if I was Ghislaine's lawyer, I'd be like, to who? To who? Like, how did he not do that? Like, you want to tell me there's some sort of a compromised trial? How do you not have a lawyer that goes, who did she sex traffic to?
Right. There's some sort of backdoor deal that was like, hey, spend this time in jail and we won't kill you.
Or also, she's working with them.
Right.
Like, especially that kind of a crime, where there's a person that hires you or gives you money or that you use to get influence from, and then you sex traffic to them. So there's another person involved. And that other person is completely eliminated from the trial because what? Because they're billionaires? Because they're heads of state?
Powerful enough.
Prominent scientists? What is going... Like, how is that okay? That doesn't even make sense that you could get through a whole trial like that. Where, according to investigations, at least 15 students were lured into Epstein's Palm Beach home. Holy shit.
That's so crazy.
Now
That's
imagine
in
if
2005.
Imagine if those girls didn't get in that fight. Imagine if that didn't happen.
Yeah.
It's dark.
It's dark.
Yeah, but if...
I mean, look at
According to the
some
FBI
people that
today,
are in the...
There was nothing going on, so.
Oh! FBI concluded Jeffrey Epstein wasn't running a sex trafficking ring for powerful men. File show.
So, there you go.
Oh, there you go. Who says that?
That idea alone triggered massive debate online. Some viewers agreed completely with Joe. They argued that Hollywood elites have spent too long avoiding accountability, while ordinary people face intense public scrutiny. Others believed Joe was encouraging dangerous speculation by even discussing Leonardo's name in relation to Epstein conversations. And honestly, that tension is exactly why the episode exploded across social media. Because underneath the celebrity headlines was something much deeper: fear. Fear that powerful networks may have operated quietly for years while the public looked the other way. Joe became visibly emotional as he described how the Epstein scandal permanently damaged society's trust in elite institutions. According to him, people no longer assume wealth and fame equal morality. In fact, many audiences now feel the opposite. They believe power often creates protection. That belief changed everything. Hollywood doesn't feel untouchable anymore, and celebrities who once seemed impossible to criticize are now facing levels of scrutiny they've never experienced before. Joe then brought up another uncomfortable point. He argued that some celebrities may not even realize how damaging certain associations look today because Hollywood culture normalized proximity to powerful people for decades. Exclusive parties, billionaire friendships, luxury vacations, private events, these environments were celebrated publicly for years. Nobody asked questions back then. Now everybody does. And once public trust cracks, rebuilding it becomes nearly impossible. What made the conversation feel so intense was Joe's repeated focus on transparency. He kept saying the issue isn't about blindly accusing people, it's about openness. He argued that when celebrities avoid difficult conversations entirely, audiences begin imagining worse scenarios themselves.
I've had conversations with people about it, and it's like, Jesus, like just trying to get the documents, like when they're trying to get the Epstein files, like the state of New York, one of the district attorneys was they were hiding documents. They had to force them to give documents. Well, it's just amazing how many people in the Diddy party list that are supporting Kamala. Too.
Yeah, seriously. It's like insane.
Publicly, openly, all in.
Yes. It's like J-Lo was like his ex-girlfriend. and it's like now deciding she's like warning people against Trump. I'm like, well, wait a second. So how many people did she warn against Diddy?
Right.
Oh, 0. Okay.
Right.
Well, maybe we shouldn't trust her opinion.
So many horrific accusations, though, involving young singers, like children.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's insane.
He makes R. Kelly look like a decent guy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
It is crazy. And meanwhile, the guy was like hanging out with Oprah, hanging out with Obama.
Jay-Z.
Everybody.
I'm sure the Clintons were there at some point.
Maybe Bill.
Y'all remember that actor Leonardo DiCaprio? Well, Leo is somebody who has been long documented as somebody who really enjoys going to some Diddy parties. But he be saying that he only went to the white parties, not the freak-offs. Bruh, you sure about that? I mean, it could just be me, but this kind of looks pretty sus. It's just a whole bunch of dudes on a bed, and you got your skinny little white boy legs out there. Like, what's really happening? Can we get somebody who's better at science than me to measure the distance between Leo's junk and Diddy's mouth? And what are these other dudes doing? Like, I swear to God, that dude is making straight up love eyes at him. And Leo be looking real happy and real relaxed right here. I mean, I don't know, is it just me or does that scream some weird stuff happened? Let me know in the comments.
That's where the emotional shift happened. Because suddenly, this wasn't just about Leonardo DiCaprio anymore. It became about the collapse of celebrity worship itself. For decades, Hollywood operated almost like royalty. Fans admired stars from a distance and rarely questioned what happened behind closed doors. But social media destroyed that separation. Now, celebrities are constantly watched, analyzed, criticized, and investigated in real time. Joe explained that this new environment terrifies many people in entertainment because image alone no longer controls public opinion, and Leonardo's situation became symbolic of that larger shift. The internet started dividing into two extreme sides. One side insisted Leonardo was being unfairly targeted simply because he's famous. They argued that guilt by association is dangerous and irresponsible. The other side claimed powerful celebrities should answer difficult questions instead of hiding behind silence and PR teams. Joe tried balancing both arguments during the episode. He repeatedly warned listeners against spreading rumors without evidence, but at the same time, he refused to dismiss public curiosity entirely. According to him, questioning powerful systems is healthy, especially after everything society learned from the Epstein case. That balance between caution and suspicion created the emotional tension people couldn't stop talking about afterward. And honestly, you could hear the frustration in Joe's voice. He sounded exhausted by what he sees as a culture built on manipulation, image protection, and selective outrage. At one point, he argued that ordinary people are constantly expected to explain themselves publicly, while elites often disappear behind lawyers, publicists, and carefully worded statements. That frustration clearly resonated with audiences. Clips from the episode spread everywhere online. Some people praised Joe for saying what others are afraid to say. Others accused him of fueling internet conspiracy culture. But regardless of opinion, one thing became obvious very quickly. People were listening. Because deep down, the conversation tapped into something bigger than Hollywood gossip. It touched a nerve about power itself. The emotional weight surrounding the Epstein case still hasn't disappeared years later because people feel betrayed. They feel like systems failed. They feel like wealth and influence protected certain circles for too long, while victims suffered in silence. Joe emphasized that this lingering anger explains why audiences react so strongly whenever celebrity names resurface around these discussions. Even if there's no accusation, Even if there's no evidence, the trust has already been damaged. And once people lose trust in powerful institutions, every unanswered question feels heavier. Leonardo DiCaprio became part of that emotional storm, whether he wanted to or not. Joe also discussed how fame creates impossible expectations. Celebrities spend decades building carefully polished reputations, but in the internet era, reputations can shift overnight. One trending topic can suddenly overshadow an entire career. And for someone like Leonardo, whose image has long been associated with intelligence, sophistication, and activism, even indirect controversy feels massive. That's what makes these moments so dramatic. Not because guilt has been proven, but because perception changes faster than facts. Joe repeatedly returned to one important point throughout the discussion. Evidence matters. Facts matter. Fairness matters. But transparency matters too. According to him, public trust cannot survive if powerful people only speak when conversations are comfortable. Joe ended the conversation with a warning that felt less like entertainment commentary and more like a prediction. He said Hollywood is entering a new era where audiences no longer automatically trust powerful figures simply because they're famous. In this environment, image alone cannot save reputations anymore. Only transparency can. And whether Leonardo DiCaprio addresses the controversy directly or continues staying silent, one thing is already clear. The public is watching differently now, and Hollywood may never feel untouchable again.